I'm paying $19.93 a month for my BMW X5. And y'all telling me that since last year of March, I only paid $5,000 towards my car?
I'm pissed. I'm up at 7:33 in the morning. About to go put all this money on my car note. Y'all, the reason why I'm sharing this information with you guys, because I don't want you guys to be like 17 thinking about getting your dream car. If you don't have the money for it, don't get it. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, I just want to document my journey, how I'm going to get rid of it, right? So basically, boom, I financed this car. The vehicle in total was $39,000, right? But I was upside down $10,000, basically like $10,000. I traded my old Kia, and I didn't know, the dealership didn't tell me that the Kia's been in a lot of accidents. It hit a motorcycle, it hit a person. Like, they didn't tell me none of this shit when I got the Kia. I'm thinking like nothing's wrong with the Kia. It hasn't been in no car crashes. I asked him, he said no. So I'm thinking everything's okay, which was cap. Everything was not okay. But it is what it is. I financed it for 14. What is it called? It's called APR, something like that. 14%. I financed that for that, and my loan was $46,000, right, y'all? Almost 2 years later, the car is still, I still have $40,000 on the car. So basically, I've been paying for fucking what? I want to tell you guys, but I don't want to show you guys my VIN number. But like, deadass, y'all, like, this shit is crazy, y'all. It's crazy. Like, how do I show you guys what I was telling you?
14% in interest, 46. It looked like $46,000. Yeah, it looked upside down. But that's where a lot of people be getting trapped. It's not what the dealership is putting in big, bold print. It's really the small print. The stuff you're like, that don't really affect me for real. Those interest rates is what's killing people. But we're going to get into all of that. Let's keep watching some more people's situations.
So I finally made it up to a point in my life where I set all my bills on auto pay, right? Yay me. I'm excited because I'm like, yeah, I ain't got to check. I ain't got to log in here, log in here, log in here. I ain't got to check here, check there, check here, check here to see if I made sure I pay this, because, baby, listen, I will forget. So I got all my bills set up on auto pay, so I don't have to worry about no bills not being paid, right? So something tells me to go check my car because I want to see how much I have paid on it since I had got it like last year. March, April, February, March, somewhere around that time when I had got my BMW X5. So I checked my Capital One, which is, you know, who I got my van through, and I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, we almost halfway there, almost done. But I signed in to check my BMW, and it said I only paid $5,000. I'm like, no, I'm being scammed, because not only am I on auto pay, but I'm paying I'm paying $19.
But before we get into that, I found a way that y'all can make some side hustle money on your phones. But the only thing is that you have to play games on your phones. And I know that a lot of people do not like playing games on their phone and stuff like that. But this is an easy way to make some bread. Even if you can only make an extra $100 or $200 a month, that could pay a couple bills just by playing games on your phone. And if you click my link in the description below or in the comments below, you could start out with a free $5. These companies are literally paying people just for y'all to play games on your phone. That is crazy. But just try it out. Go peep the games that they have. If you don't like it, hey, it is what it is. But I say it's worth a try.
93, which is a hell of a lot, right? I know. That was the stupidest thing I ever done. But anyways, I'm paying $19.93 a month for my BMW X5. And y'all telling me that since last year of March, I only paid $5,000 towards my car?
That interest.
So I'm on chat like, y'all can have this thing back, because y'all ain't about to scam me no more. I'm not about to pay another year of $19.93 a month. And it seems like it's not going.
Just because you don't understand something does not mean you got scammed. It is not. I want you guys to understand something. It is not the world's job to educate you. Although you want people to be very open and explain to you how things work and stuff like that, that is really not how the world works in most scenarios. Like, think about it. In most processes in your life, unless you ask the question, it is not their job to give you the answers. which is why we need to get to a point of stop saying that the world is scamming us and start to educate ourselves. They didn't just pop up a high interest rate on her out of nowhere, just mid-month. That is the same interest rate she signed when she first got the vehicle. But this is the problem. A lot of people, and I'm trying to wait a little bit towards the end of this video to explain this stuff, but a lot of people buy cars off of emotions. So you really like the car in the beginning. They make you test drive the car. You ride around. You imagining yourself in the car. You're imagining your post in the car. You imagining people you know, thinking about the fact that you have this car. But what you're missing is the fine print, because the people that work at these dealerships are crooks. They're paying attention to how interested you are in this car. They're focusing on everything but the numbers, because they know you're not paying attention to the numbers. So what happens? You go ahead and sign off on these numbers. You drive out, you take a picture, post it on your story for everybody to see it. And then slowly but surely, the car just becomes a car. You realize, like, wait a minute, I'm paying $2,000 for 4 wheels to just sit outside, and it's losing value. Like, I just looked it up just now. When she first got that car was $100,000. So I'm guessing she got it in the year 2021. That's the first mistake. You don't get a car of that year. Don't get cars brand new, because when you get a car brand new, as soon as you drive off the lot, it loses value. And for instance, in her situation, here we are only 4 years later, and her car has lost $40,000 in value. So now she's probably looking up and she's like, man, this really wasn't worth it to begin with. But this is why we need to do better when it comes to making decisions, especially signing contracts based off of emotions. Ask yourself, do I need this thing, or do I just really want this thing? Is this at my means, or is this really below my means? Do I have to work extra hard to maintain this? And am I going to be able to work extra hard to maintain this? Or am I just telling myself I'm going to figure it out? The people that kill me the most is the people that's be like, oh, we only live once. And don't get me wrong, I've had some nice cars, but I'm going to tell you how I've never paid for a car note until now. And that's because now I can easily afford my cars. But we're going to get into all of that, so stick around.
Going towards nothing but interest. Like, it's not going towards the payment. It's not going to... Listen, I don't know. I don't know. I made it to the point in life where I started making money, and I had a lot of dumb decisions, and I'm still learning, still growing, and I'm learning. But that was the dumbest mistake ever. But I'm here to tell you, y'all can have that car back. I will willfully bring the car back to the parking lot so y'all can have it. On my mama, on my soul, I'm not even playing. Because how have I had it for damn near, it's been a year now. And you telling me I only paid $5,000?
That is crazy.
I'm not playing with y'all. I'm on the app with them right now. I'm not playing with y'all. Is y'all crazy? Y'all let me know if y'all check. Make sure y'all checking what y'all checking. I don't know. People be. I didn't know that you could make payments and it only go towards.
But here's the thing: the interest rate is not some hidden fee. It's just something you need to understand. And the way interest works, I'm going to try to break this down the best way I can. For her, it's like 14%, which is very high. Well, actually, it was the last girl that she was paying 14%. But anyways, that is too high to be paying interest, because the way interest works is it usually accrues daily. So I'll break it down like this. Every single day, you're being charged an extra fee for owning that car daily. And this is how the bank is getting their money. So if you go on ChatGPT and ask it to give you an interest rate breakdown, it'll explain to you daily you're being charged about $25 in interest. So now by the end of the month, you do that times 30. If you're being charged $25 a day in interest, by the end of the month, you now owe an extra $750. So you think that you just have to pay your car payment. No. Let's say your car payment is $1,200. So $750 is just going to the bank just for them giving you that money, allowing you to borrow that money. And then $450 is going to the actual loan, which is what they call the principal, which is what brings that purchase price down to the point where you could possibly pay off your car. But a lot of y'all are getting stuck in these high interest rates, and you're thinking to yourself, well, it's not big of a deal. I kind of like the car payments, so I'm good. But you don't realize at the end of the day, you're going to be paying way more for that car than it's actually worth. And then by the time you stop liking the car, that's when everything starts to dawn on you, because you're like, damn, I got a 2021 and it's 2024 and I still owe $70,000 on this car. And all you was trying to do is keep up with the Joneses. I hope I just broke down the interest rates to y'all in a way that actually makes sense.
Interest, honey. And when I set up auto pay, I thought that it was going to go to the car payment or whatever, and whatever else it go to automatically. But apparently I got to log in and make sure that it's not just going to interest, that it's going towards the car, which don't make sense. If my payment is $19.93, then I would think that it automatically would go to where it needs to go. Lesson learned. Won't be a dummy no more. Won't spend no foolish money on nothing else. I am learning. But moral of the story, y'all can get this thing back. And that's on my soul. So y'all see I just posted the screenshots, right? Now, she asked me, kindly confirm the reason you are returning the vehicle. I said I have had the car for a full year and it's only showing I paid $5K. I've been paying $19.94, which was wrong, $19.98, for every month for an entire year. And no way I only paid $5K. She said, I totally understand. Kindly note a state required letter may be sent before your vehicle can be picked up. Ma'am, what? This is a scam. So no reasoning at all. Not, oh, sorry, ma'am.
The reason is in your contract, people. You cannot argue with a company saying that they scammed you if they gave you a contract to sign. When they give you a contract to sign, that is your chance to read it. Now, don't get me wrong. Is this honest? Is this something that should be going on? No shape or form. But I want us to get out of this victim mindset of blaming everybody else for something that we misstepped on. Because this happens with apartments. This happens with any type of sales. When I bought my first investment property, like there were things in the fine print that I was just missing. I wasn't that knowledgeable on what I was looking at. It wasn't until I made some mistakes that I started to learn. The same thing with cars. Same thing with insurance. It is not their job to tell you what you should know. If they say interest rate and you go, yes, it is not their job to be like, are you sure you understand what an interest rate is? No, their job is to make a sale. For them to feed their family, they need to give you a car. That's it. So it's not their job to clear it up for you and then possibly not make a sale. Car salesmen are great actors. They're great at selling cars. They're great at hiding the things that they know that you don't know. Stop thinking that this world is your friend and educate yourself. And that's why I'm here. You know what I mean? To educate those people that don't know.
I see here you did pay over $11K. Nothing. This man, yeah. Come get it. Bye. I'm done. Signed, sealed, delivered. You can.
I'm pissed. I'm up at 7:33 in the morning. About to go put all this money on my car note. My car note is $870, y'all. This is all going to my car note. Make sure y'all like this video. Make sure y'all follow me. Make sure I do.
I could see from the speaker in the back of her car.
Make sure I like this video.
It's like a small speaker in the back of her car.
Me.
If you know, you know. But most likely she's in a Benz.
I wasn't, huh? I told you, mother.
Whoa! Bro, shit.
Call the cops!
Listen, y'all, a lot of y'all winded up in these situations because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. And don't get me wrong, you only live once. My daughter made this for me. She crocheted this yesterday, so she was excited for me to wear it. A lot of y'all wind up in this situation because y'all are trying to keep up with the Joneses. Y'all want people to see you in a car and be like, oh my God, such and such has the new BMW, such and such has the new whatever. You're going into a 6-year commitment with straight emotions. Not thinking about how you're going to feel 3 years from now when this car is now old. Because one thing that won't change is your payments. That $870 that she's paying on her car, she signed up for that. Nobody knocked on her door and said, hey, sorry, but you got to pay $870 for that car that's outside. So with that being said, when we are in the dealership, I want you guys to start thinking like, am I really going to need this car? Like, will this payment always make sense to me? Like, I know how I feel right now, but do I really need an extra $870 payment for something I'm only going to enjoy for an hour a day? And that's really on a commute to work and back. Like, do I really need that? And if I I don't get that, what changes? Because while your emotions can change on how you feel about the car payment is definite. I had to learn this myself. I've had Range Rovers, Corvettes, Chargers, Challengers, i8. I've had some nice cars. I like having nice cars. But what I've learned driving most of the cars, what I've learned is that all of them feel like my hoopty eventually. All of them, my Range Rover eventually felt just like my hoopty. My i8 eventually felt just like my hoopty. Sitting inside of it, it drive a little bit faster, but eventually it just becomes a car that I start the engine and it gets me A to B. The only people that are actually enjoying it are the people on the outside that can see the car. And then it becomes cool, but that lasts for like 5 seconds. So am I paying an extra $700 on a car just for other people to validate whether or not my car is nice? But again, I also wasn't paying no car notes. So I'm gonna give y'all the game on how I wasn't paying no car notes. So most of y'all have heard of this website before. It's Turo, right? So what I would do is I would only get cars I could make a profit with when I wasn't driving it. So I always had a hoopty. I always had a hoopty on the side that was just paid for. On the weekends when I do want to go out or I want to go on a date or something like that, I could always take my car off of Turo and then I could drive my car. But throughout the month, it's on the road, getting rented out by other people, and it's paying for itself. And at one point, I didn't have my hoopty. So what I would do is with the extra money that my Turo cars was making, I would pay off my A to B car. So I'm going to give you a perfect example. I know some people probably heard i8. It was like, oh, an i8, which is exactly why I got an i8. I don't really like to drive fast. I got into some bad accidents in my past. So I'm not really the guy that likes to drive fast. But I'm going to give you a perfect example with this i8. This is the way I would find a car. People hear i8 and they think, ooh. They see the butterfly doors and they go, ooh. Because you don't see a lot of butterfly doors on the road. Now, and mine was lime green. It was real nice. Don't get me wrong. You could probably find it on my old YouTube channel. Search Ty Boogie i8. You'll see the whole video of me doing a whole review on this. But as you can see, i8's pretty cheap. At the time that I got it, it was probably like $60,000, so it was a little bit more. It's pretty cheap, $37,000, and this i8 looks just like the newest i8. So what I would do is I would get the latest model. I would get the model, looks like a up-to-date model, but it's really an old year. Granted, the miles wouldn't be too high because I needed it to meet Turo's requirements. And then I would go on Turo and I would see how much is that car renting out for. So right now you see that this car is renting out for about $300 a day. Now I wanted to always beat the market, so I would rent mine out for probably at the highest $200 a day. So you figure the car used to be out all the time. But all I needed was probably about 6 days for it to be out of 30. Then the other 24 days are free days of me driving an i8. And y'all may be asking yourself, yeah, but I don't know if I want somebody to drive my car. I've had people getting a little fender benders and Turo would pay for all of that. I've even had a friend list their car on my platform and their car got stolen. This is a crazy story. I'll probably tell it to y'all another day. But their car got stolen and Turo paid out the original value of that car. Whatever the loan was for that car, that's what they paid out. They paid out the complete loan. So Turo really pays good when it comes to like the insurance and stuff like that. And I had no ties to my car. So if you love your car, like for instance, the car that I have right now, I'm not such in a rush to rent this car out. But if I had to, I know I can. I only get luxury cars that I know that if I can't afford it, it can still pay for itself. Having multiple backup plans so I don't wind up in a repo type situation. But if y'all want me to do a whole video about Turo, I could definitely do a whole video about Turo. I did it for probably about 6 or 7 years, so I know a lot about Turo. Turo and Airbnb, those are my bread and butter. This Maserati right here is $16,000. The payment on this car is probably less than $300. Now I would go on Turo and I would see how much is this car renting out for. So right here, you got a 2019 and they're renting out for $180 a day. They are making this car payment in literally 2 rides. Now, Turo's not legal in all states, but just check it out for your state. But this is the way that I was able to drive nice cars and not have to pay a payment.
So I put my car note on auto pay, not monthly auto pay, weekly auto pay, where my bank sends a weekly amount to my car note. For instance, my car note is $400 a month. I pay $100 a week. Why? Because this triples my payment every month, which reports to my credit bureau. And also I'm paying less interest because I'm paying the loan faster.
Yes, that is very true. By making faster payments on your loan, you're outpacing the interest. Remember, interest is being charged daily. So the more frequent you pay down your car, the more you're escaping interest because you're getting charged it daily. So what she's doing is outpacing her interest. The main thing I want y'all to remember is that you are not just paying for that car. Like if it's $46,000, oh, if I make $1,000 payment, now it comes down to $45,000. That is not how it works. You have to encompass for the interest. And if you got charged interest for that whole entire month, most of your payment for the following month is going to be an interest payment.
Keep seeing videos on people talking about car notes and should you get them, should you not get them. In my personal opinion, and don't come to me like no financial guru, if you're lazy, do not get a car note. Go ahead and get you a car that you can pay off. Now, if you're one of those people that don't like to deal with car problems, you just might have to eat it and get you a car payment that's not that much. Go get you a little Toyota, get you a little Nissan, 1 or 2 years old, and call it a day. At the same time, I'm a firm believer in people should live their life to the fullest. If you know you're one of those people, you can get 2 or 3 extra days a month at work as an overtime, and you're not scared to work a little bit harder to get the things that you want in life, that dream car, that new pair of shoes that you really shouldn't be buying because you understand it's financially irresponsible to have $1,000 car payment, to spend $1,000 on shoes, but you're willing to work to maintain that lifestyle, go ahead and have fun. But if you know you're the type of person to call off work and you still not gonna get paid, as in you don't get PTO like that, and or you don't like reoccurring bills that are really expensive and you go from job to job, I don't think you should go get that.
Me personally, I don't think anybody should be out here buying a car because you have calculated being able to work overtime. Because what happens when that job says nobody can work overtime? Now you're sitting there looking crazy. That is not a real source of income. That is just something that, okay, somebody is giving you, somebody's allowing you to get some overtime, but don't add that to your income. I personally feel like if you're gonna buy something, make sure it can make money. Do not just buy a depreciating asset. Make sure it can pay for itself. That is the way I see it. And if it can't pay for itself, make sure it's something that gives so much value to the point where you can't see yourself feeling like you don't need this car no more. Like I feel like most guys have a pickup truck. Most guys, your first car should be a pickup truck. And the reason why I say that is because you can always make money with a pickup truck, even if you don't rent it out. And they got some really luxurious, nice pickup trucks. So if you can't get no overtime at your job, okay, I know that I could go get some loads, or I could put myself on this help somebody move app. Like there's so many different ways that I can possibly pay for this other than just working my job. Because what happens when you don't have that job no more? I like to see everything as, how is this an investment and not something like I'm just straight losing out on? Because for the most part, when we go out and we get a car, it's usually something we're just losing. It's just a depreciating asset that's just sitting outside. But people, that you only live once and YOLO, those are the situations that's putting you years down the line regretting ever buying that car. Because one day you was like, YOLO. I get it, YOLO, enjoy yourself, drive some nice cars. I've driven some nice cars, but do it in a strategic way. Be smart about it. And if, let's just say you don't want to rent your car out. Let's just say you don't want your car to make no money. Make sure it is a fraction of the money that you're actually making. So for instance, if you're making $5,000 a month and your car payment is $1,200, that is too much money on a car payment because you still have to encompass for where you live, which in most states, that's about $1,500 to $2,000. Now, so now you got about $3,000 just tied into where you live and a vehicle. Which one do you think you really need? You need where you live. So the vehicle you should get for a much better price. $300, $400 car payments. The very last thing I want to leave you guys with, and I might do a whole nother video on this because I didn't expect myself to say this much. The very last thing I want to leave you guys with is always go to your bank before you get a car loan. Because when you go to an actual car dealership, they're running your credit so many times. They're running your credit like 5 different times. They're shopping it to different banks. And if you guys don't know nothing about credit, the more they shop around your credit and all of these companies is running your credit, by the time you leave that car dealership, the credit be done dropped at least like 10 points versus you going straight to your bank, getting pre-approved. A lot of banks will do either a soft pull or they'll do no pull because you got pre-approved, and then they'll do the pull when you actually get the check. But getting pre-approved through your bank is how you have leverage walking into the dealership, all right? Because the dealership, remember, They are sharks. They're going to put a whole bunch of hidden fees that don't actually need to be in there. So when you already have your pre-approval letter, they want that money. So you could say, hey, this is all I got approved for. Can you move some things around? And in my experience, they will, because they want that check. Versus you walking in there saying, oh, I want that car. It's just so nice. Oh, I love how fast it is. When they see these things, they are going to play on your top. I walk into the dealership like, look, man, I ain't here to play with you. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I want. This is why I want it. Matter of fact, let me check this. Let me see the Carfax. What is this extra fee that y'all have in there? In-house fee. What is this? Can y'all remove that? Because I'm not paying for that. That's not what I got pre-approved for on my letter. And they will remove that stuff. That warranty, I don't need your warranty. The car already has a warranty with the actual dealership. You guys have to realize it is all a sales experience, which is why you have to educate yourself. Stop being like these ladies in this video thinking that somebody done finessed you. Nobody finessed you because you was uneducated. I educate yourself. But anyways, y'all, woo, this was a video. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, turn on my post notifications and all that good stuff, man. And again, like I always say, if you want to make a little bit of side hustle money, now I mean just playing games on your phone, click the link in the description below or in the comments below. Just check out the app. It may be for you or may not be for you, but just check it out. All you got to do is put an email and a password and you can see the list of games that you could play. It'll tell you how much money you can make playing the games on your phone. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. But I say just check it out. That's easy money, especially for y'all that's out here trying to get these cars. But anyways, y'all, it's been your boy Ty Boogie. Until next time, y'all, I'm out of here, man. Peace.